배어 파일 컨버터가 무료 이용 가능합니다. 웨이브, mp3 파일 등을 넣으면 자동으로 미디 파일 변환이 돼요. 4마디, 8마디 루 파일을 넣으면 쉽고 빠르게 코드를 딸 수 있습니다. 미디를 활용해 코드는 물론 베이스까지 응용해서 찍을 수 있어요. 파일 용량은 50메가 이하만 가능합니다. 사용법은 업로드 클릭 후 파일을 넣으면 돼요. 팹필터 에센셜 번들이 25% 할인 중입니다. 컴프 EQ 리버브 묶음이에요. 프로큐3는 믹싱할 때 레알 꿀템입니다. 간단한 EQ잉부터 디테일한 사운드까지 전 범위적으로 사용할 수 있어요. 해외 유명 프로듀서분들이 자주 사용하는 플러그인입니다. 여러분 때 득템하세요.
Can also solo bands to listen to those frequencies in isolation. You can use spectrum grab to find and fix problem resonances. Or you can use the EQ match features to automatically create corrective EQ curves. But these advanced features never get in the way of the core EQ functionality. And behind the scenes, ProQ3 is tightly coded and highly optimized, so it can still be the go-to EQ that you load onto every channel of your mix, just like its predecessors. Let's start with a new analyzer feature. As with ProQ2, you can superimpose the sidechain spectrum on top of the input spectrum and view them both together. ProQ3 goes a step further and allows you to pick any other instance of ProQ3 instead, and compare this to the signal you're EQing. Each instance is named after the track it's loaded on, with a mini spectrum display to help you identify them. But you can rename each instance manually if required. And I can now view the spectrum of the bass part while EQing the kick drum, for example, with subtle red shading to indicate areas that are prominent in both parts.
SSL Native Vocalstrip 2가 92% 할인 중입니다. 레알 보컬 믹싱 꿀템이에요. 컴프 EQ는 물론 디에서, 디폴서 등 보컬 믹싱에 필요한 다양한 기능이 전부 들어있어요. 노브를 돌리는 직관적인 방법으로 쉽고 빠르게 원하는 사운드를 만들 수 있습니다. 보컬 믹싱 많이 하시는 분들에게 강추해요. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
In a blink of an eye, we've been out here chasing things that never make us right inside. All the glitz and glamour could be taken in a blink of an eye. Moving down to our EQ, let's start with the low end. I'm going to get rid of some of that low mud. Just move this up to around 100 hertz. And then we're going to get rid of a lot of the boominess in the vocal that's sitting more towards 250. Why can't we have this conversation? Just tell me how you feel. I know it's been about that money, man, but it's time we got real. We've been out here chasing things that never make us right inside. All the glitz and glamour could be taken in a blink of an eye. And finally, let's add that signature SSL presence with the high-end boost, the de-esser being after the EQ. It's just going to kind of work in tandem to give us a smooth brightness. Why can't we have this conversation? Just tell me how you feel. I know it's been about that money, man, but it's time we got real. We've been out here chasing things that never make us right inside. All the glitz and glamour could be taken in a blink of an eye.
스마트 번들이 66% 할인 중입니다. 자동 믹싱 꿀템이에요. EQ 컴포 리버브 리미터 묶음입니다. 해당 악기 선택 후 자동 믹싱 버튼을 누르면 쉽고 빠르게 작업할 수 있어요. 믹싱이 힘드시는 분들에게 추천드려요. 값을 변형해 자신만의 사운드를 만들 수 있습니다. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
what I picked up from that is that there are elements in the mid and the kind of high mids that are creating a bit of a kind of boxy sound. And the moment that I use my custom profile to determine like which of those sounds needs to be kind of reduced, as you can see, it's kind of like applied the profile to the specific mix. You can actually dial in the exact settings if you want less or more. You can dial in the exact frequencies that it's applying to, which is pretty cool. I want to show you guys quickly how to make a custom profile and also just some other things about the plugin which I think are particularly interesting. So what I want to do is I want to use FX Grid in Bitwig to generate a kind of flat noise curve. As you can see here, the pink noise is kind of a little bit sloped. So I want to create a as flat as we can get. So I'm going to use the FX Grid with a combination of a, let's see if the high shelf will work, to just flatten out.
네오버브가 70% 할인 중입니다. 리버브 꿀템이에요. 자동 미싱 기능도 들어있어 작업이 편리합니다. 조작법이 직관적이라 초보자분들도 사용하기 편해요. 가운데 있는 점을 이용해 원하는 리버브를 만들면 됩니다. 저렴한 때 득템하세요.
Good. Dry, wet knob. So everything's dry. I'm gonna slowly bring stuff in. Now let's go ahead and get into the things here. Some of the things that they do right, obviously, is that you have access to tooltips. You can turn them off in your options over here. Let's go ahead and rock with this Reverb Assistant so you can see what I'm talking about. Well, hear what I'm talking about in the flesh. So we're in here and it's supposed to calculate everything. It will have things from realistic to dramatic. You set the style. You can set the size. You can set the tone. Now, let's go ahead and click next, and it's going to do this work.
SubLab XL이 37% 할인 중입니다. 레알 808 꿀템이에요. 트렌디한 곡 만드시는 분들에게 강추합니다. 808 베이스 등 다양한 스타일의 사운드가 들어있어요. 버전업되면서 이펙트 기능도 상당히 좋아졌습니다. 힙합 R&B 하시는 분들이 쓰면 좋아요. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
Really easy ways to change up that sound, and I like how the colors match the album art or the preset art for that pack. Over here in the modulation section, you have a new feature over here, the LFO, to add movement to your sound. Also new is a couple new sound effects, but what I also really appreciate from the effects is you can actually choose your chain alongside new sort of UI elements as well. Nice movement to the plugin.